Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. I know we're the only ones standing between you and lunch, so we'll get through in 7 minutes. I wanted to introduce you to AlphaPoint as a company first, and then talk about what we do for our customers. We do help all of our customers in capital markets and finance make illiquid assets very, very liquid, very, very quickly using an underlying blockchain technology. And this technology that we use is enterprise sort of generation 3 grade technology that helps to uncork the power of blockchain and uncomplicate that power, but also give that power to the enterprises that we sell it to so that they can build and manage their own networks. We have been in business for 4 years. We've been launching production customers for that full time, which means we have a lot of experience with production-oriented solutions. We have 30 customers around the world on 5 continents running our software for different application types and different purposes. And we find that we've made that very straightforward and very easy to do, launching many customers in as little as 30 to 60 days into production. The company has customers that range from some very large institutions like the CME Group, one of the world's largest trading exchanges, the Royal Mint in the UK, Scotiabank, BTC China, and BIT, which is a payment network in the Caribbean that is sort of the PayPal of the Caribbean. Thank you. And that's helped us sort of garner some awards around the industry that's sort of proven that we've been around for a while and that blockchain exists in true production and brings great value to our customers. So we tend to focus on these areas because this is where we see customer demand coming from around the world. Much of it is between commodities and currencies where there are liquid assets that need to be digitized to make transactions more fluid. And we really focus in all of these areas around helping our customers make more money, generate more customer demand, not just on the back office savings. We think that's an area that blockchain inherently takes care of. What we like to do is really help our customers with their business problems. So one example of that is, I mentioned before, the CME Group and the Royal Mint in the UK, who is part of the UK Treasury and manages the gold for the UK, which is a very large part of their control and power across the planet. And they've digitized gold in a way that makes it tradable and also applies ownership on that tokenization of that gold to the trader, meaning they can set aside margin money and other requirements that they have and free up capital in order to do more trading. It also means that the average investor can now trade in gold at a fractional amount, a very small, minute amount of gold, and take ownership of that product without having the physical cost of having it delivered. And that's a very valuable thing to be able to do in today's digital world. And so what we're going to demonstrate today is just one example of those sort of 6 sectors that we find is very interesting. This market is the private shares market, and it's about $4.2 trillion in 2016, so we think it's a reasonable market to approach. We also find that growth is about 10% year on year. So what we're going to see and what Michael's going to demonstrate is the ability to issue shares in a private sense to raise capital for your firm.
Great. Thanks, Ted. So we all know this is the year of the ICO, or the initial coin offering. You invest in tokens. Investing in companies is old-fashioned. That may or may not prove to be true, but in the short term, my colleagues and I think there's a ton of value that this technology, blockchain in general, and our stack in particular, can offer to small and medium-sized enterprises looking to raise capital. We're just going to scratch the surface here, but the point I want to underline is that the same immutable distributed data fabric that makes it really efficient for companies to manage their cap table and to streamline corporate actions is the same data fabric that can be sort of selectively disclosed to potential investors. We're just going to see a little bit of how a capital raise might work on this system, but what I want to underline is that one same fabric is going to give companies, to the extent that they wish to selectively disclose it to potential investors, a real advantage raising capital. So we think we're going to see more and more companies start to do things this way. So let's take an example and see what it might look like. I'm going to log in on behalf of the Treasury for a company we all know well, Pied Piper. I'm logging in as Jared. And we've talked to our current investors, and we've talked to our employees, and we've defined a new share of preferred equity. We're looking to raise $5 million at a $15 million post-money valuation. Again, we've already defined this share, so what we're going to do is just issue it or instantiate it. So I'm going to choose the class we want. The number is 1428326. This will give us our $5 million raise. We believe board approval date was last week. And yeah, Finovate. Seems like a reasonable comment. So I'll issue it, confirm all the details make sense. And you can see right now the shares have been added to the mesh network of blockchain nodes that we've got running AlphaPoint software behind the scenes here. So now let's take a look at markets, where we can trade some of this if we wish. You can see down in the bottom right corner, we indeed have that balance here. So I'll go ahead and sell, let's say, 50,000 at $3.50. That will get us our raise at our current valuation, and let's try it at $3.60, which will give us our raise a little bit above that. So now I'm going to log out as Jared, and I'm going to log in as a current investor that we've allowed to participate in this sort of permission-curated liquidity event, where we've invited other family offices to take a look at our offering. So you can see here, as Russ, I'm able to see not only AlphaPoint, but since maybe I'm a market maker, I can see also some Hooli stock and a few other things as well. So I'm going to go ahead and lift a couple of these orders from the book. Let's say I want to lift all of it. I'll get 50,000 shares at 3.5. I'll buy that, and let's do the full. That's the wrong amount. All right, great. Well, so what we did here is just pick up a couple shares of Pied Piper, and we don't have time to share everything on the back end, but suffice to say, we just raised about 100K for the company. That's really it. Thank you all for your time.